Hey y'all, I'm Allison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids.
Hunters, this is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
And my favorite bands from Australia.
My two favourite podcasters,
Braggy and Curly.
Braggy and Curly.
On the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered Podcast.
And Rossi.
And there's Chippy. All right, let's get this show on the road. Hey, so, hey there, everyone, and welcome to episode 147 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. First up, I'm going to start with an apology. Last week, I mentioned the band that was joining us tonight were called the Sex Toys. I was wrong. However, Dennis from the Sex Guys didn't necessarily mind the fact that we call him the Sex Toys. So that's a
welcome on it. Yeah, I'm very okay with that name. That's hilarious.
little
it
from
makes
column
more
A,
sense
little from
than the
column
actual
B.
name does.
Yeah, that's
Grammatically.
That's just the name. That's just the name of the next album. That's all that is. The Sex Guys do the Sex Toys.
Oh, you're gonna love the name of the album.
Oh dear.
All right, so let's welcome our two co-hosts. We got Rossi from Sydney and we've got Braggy from Adelaide. How are you, boys?
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Bit cold down here in the bottom of Australia, but I've got the pot belly just fired up now, so it's
You talk about a stove, right?
yeah. I got the stove down the back here in the studio. She's a cracker, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, my pot belly, that's always fired up. You know that, Rossi. That's why.
It's just mean.
That's why I go. It's half of me.
Yeah.
Is potbelly a colloquialism that's not a Queensland thing? What actually is it? I'm still not sure.
Oh, it's a stove. So
it is a stove. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a stove that you put wood in, like a
iron.
Like
it's an iron stove.
It's an iron stove. I can actually cook. I've actually boiled tea on the top of it, but I don't do that. You have to make sure if you're piston stone, you don't go near it and touch it because you burn the shit out of yourself.
So wait, is it for cooking or is it for warming?
It's for warming in this case,
right.
but you could cook on it if you wanted.
Sure. Okay.
Got a small
sweet.
plate. Yeah. You can warm something up.
All right, let's get a around the grounds updates. Braggy, how's Save the Cranker going?
Save the Crank is going excellent. We recently just had a post. Paul, the one himself, Paul Kelly, just mentioned the cranker and said, "quote." He said, "You can't learn how to play rock and roll in a lecture. You have to actually do it on stage." And so the cranker is like many other pubs in Adelaide. That is the university for rock and roll. So hopefully there's a lot. I think they're going to save it. You know, there's a lot of weight behind it. And I've heard some rumors through connections in the political field that someone might step in and pull some strings and, you know, brown paper bag shit. You build something else over here and save this, and I'll look good.
Yeah, positive.
You know? Yeah,
that's always
should be great because this speed they had 3,000 people march from the cranker to Parliament House the other weekend.
Yeah.
Now, if those people kept on turning up to gigs every week, the cranker wouldn't have a problem.
Yeah,
that's 100%. The whole. No, they got no problem with crowds. They just want to knock it down and build apartments. The crowds are fine.
So,
people, Curly, that's about half of Adelaide.
Yeah.
Right, Rossi?
It's about half a Dragons crowd at Cogra. So, yeah. Hey, so Rossi, update on Pocket Watch and the new album.
Yeah, new record's good. They finished the mixes and they're very excited. You know, but then again, you know, if you're that old and you're putting out your second record, you're always going to be excited, aren't you?
100%. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So, and is the release date still a closely guarded secret, or
no? There's going to be a launch in August, and I think the launch is August 16th, and I think they're going to play Marrickville Bolo in Sydney.
Oh, fancy that!
The Bolo. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, who'd have thought? A couple of little bits of news around the joint. Laura Frank's got a new song out, I Ain't No Politician, and she got some press in the Sunday Mail of all places around that this week. So she's going great guns. Ritzy Kids have got a new single called The Reverie. And once again, some awesome reviews are coming out on that particular song. And of course, we've added them to our playlist. And a great friend of ours, Dr. Bombay, with Gary Slater, ex Voodoo Lust. They've released their new single, Do You Feel It? Rossi, what do you think of it? It's a great little tune.
I think it sounds great. They've killed it. And because now Garrett, the band, has they've got a new bass player and they've got a new guitar player who happens to be Tony Harper, who is Gary's partner from Viscounts and Voodoo Lust. So those guys have been playing together since the early 80s, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So fantastic. Like, I love to see those two play together. They're just they're like inseparable.
The chemistry is going to be awesome. So let's introduce our guest for the tonight. We've got Dennis from the Sex Guys. The Sex Guys are a high energy 3-piece garage rock band from Southport. So how are you?
Lovely
Dennis?
write up. You read that straight from our bio. Now, in forethought or hindsight, I wish I wrote way more shit in there. That was heaps cool. I'm gonna hit my manager up about that.
I was very happy to hear you say garage band. That makes me happy. It's right up my alley.
That was the vibe of music we wanted to go for.
I think I got
cheap. It wanted really easy to play. The main thing with this band was the guitar has to be so easy. Because I have to play it.
Dennis, the one line from the profile that I really love, it's pulling roots from the Southport hardcore scene and the fine dining entertainment sector. So
that's right.
Yeah, that's good.
Right. But we've got 3 members, right? I play in hardcore bands. Our drummer Geordie, he is from like deathcore bands. He's like legit. And then Jordan, our bass player, he cut his teeth like playing jazz gigs at like restaurants and stuff with this other guy who's actually filling in on drums for us right now. So it's like he gives us all the flavor, basically. Jordan comes in with all the flavor and all the like funky bits. And then me and Geordie, the drummer, just go as hard as we can.
So the bass player's got all the brains behind the whole.
He has all the taste, yes.
The taste. Well, that makes sense, Rossi, doesn't it?
It does make sense. But as I've often put out to people, the bass player is the most important member of any band, Brad.
Oh my god,
absolutely.
Carries everything. You can, as long as the bass is doing the correct thing, you can do anything on guitar. I've got pedals that just go. Ooh! It doesn't matter. Bass carries it. It's good.
The bass player carries all the emotional baggage from the rest of the band. That's what happens.
There's a lot of work in the back end there that's going down that we don't have to see, which is really good.
That's right. He's a wise man, Braggy. He's a wise man.
He is. I'm going to ask you, Dennis, the first question I always ask everyone is where did music happen for you? What was the first time when you listened to music when you were young and you went, fuck, I like this shit. This is a thing. I want to do this.
I was really into rap music at like 12 years old. And my dad, for my 12th birthday, for Christmas, bought me a guitar, an acoustic guitar. I hated it. And I did like lessons at school. And then my mom got me lessons like outside of school, which I did no homework, hated it. And then for Christmas, I think the next year, someone gave me a Linkin Park Live in Texas DVD. And like, that was it for me. Watching that, I like had that fucking acoustic guitar and I was like standing in front of the TV, standing up, pretending to be in Linkin Park. And from then on, I was like, yeah, I'm doing that somehow.
So essentially giving you the guitar was like an intervention.
Yeah, well, to start with, it did nothing. And then I even like failed the music classes at school and shit. And then it was like, once I hit 14, I was like, oh my God, this is the best. Yeah.
That happens so often. Boys just one day wake up and the light goes on.
Yeah. You're just like, I got to learn this. I think it took me like 2 years to get into a band from that realization point. Yeah. And I played bass first when I got in my first band. I wasn't good enough to be the guitarist.
Don't they say the bass player is usually just the worst guitarist in the band?
Right? The drummer used to be the bass player, and I remember asking him when he was playing in a band, I was like, why did you choose bass? He's like, just did. It's fun. And I went, oh.
Two less strings. Easy.
I'll do that. Yeah.
I love it.
So hardcore. The hardcore. There's the old school hardcore. There's the new school hardcore. Who do you like out of the new school hardcore?
Look, I think Turnstile, even though they're all from old bands, Turnstile are really doing it for me. I know it's a bit top 40-ish now, but I like that. I think they did a really good job. The songs sound like songs. I like songs that sound like songs, not just riff salad. Speed do a bit of riff salad, but their songs are pretty hard. They are the best from what's going on at the moment.
Speed from Western Sydney.
Yeah. They're nuts.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much they took off. Insane.
That
opened the gate for every other band in Australia, whether you're in the hardcore scene or not. People just started going to shows. It is nuts.
They dropped a new single on
the biggest uptick in it.
They dropped a new single on Unearthed last week, I think.
Speed, I think they dropped a video with it as well.
Yeah, why would they be dropping stuff on Unearthed when they've got labels in America? It's crazy. But anyway.
Holy shit, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
They're still in touch with what's going on. That's good.
Yeah, they're very grassroots, aren't they? And that's kind of the hardcore is supposed to be part of a big community, really.
Exactly right. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So, Dennis, I mentioned off air the research that we do. We are so professional in what it is that we churn out here. But SoundCloud 2017, talk about it.
Okay. So, if you've heard of the Sex Guys before, you may have got confused looking us up because there's another band called the Sex Guys. That's also us. Just a way lower budget version of it. Basically, we couldn't.
That's the bottom shelf.
The only reason that still exists is because we had nothing released, so we had to have something to show. So we were like, all right, keep the SoundCloud up. And then there's also that Sex Guys has an Unearthed account as well that we couldn't get into for some reason. So there's two Sex Guys on Unearthed, and they're both fucking us as well. But so what happened in 2017, we started this band. It's the same dudes as well. There was one more guitarist, but he ended up moving over to Canada. So every 3 weeks I message him and I'm like, you coming back? We're still, it's on. We're going. Yeah. Anyway, back then, 4-piece. He was doing half the guitars, all the good guitars, to be fair, and all the singing. And we wrote a bunch of songs. The problem was we were all real poor. And we lived out in basically a shack in the middle of Coomera, which is a suburb that's nice now, but back then was fucked. And we pretty much put everything together ourselves. We didn't know anybody in the scene. We didn't know anybody that mixed or did mastering or how to hit people up or how to even email about that. We'd only just kind of got the internet out there. So we kind of did a bunch of nothing for ages. And, we ended up hooking up one gig at this place called Shark Bar, and it fell through. And we were just like, we can't do this. We don't know what we're doing. We're not prepared. The songs are okay. So we put 2 songs out on SoundCloud, I think. And then Bitcoin become quite prevalent. This was about start of 2018. And we just became Bitcoin bros. And that's a whole nother story. But we got really into Bitcoin. And then I just kind of quit playing. And then those boys ended up going and doing heaps of jazz gigs and started doing all the dinner circuits around all the fine dining areas around the Gold Coast, which was cool. So they got that outlet there. I went and did Twitch streaming and Bitcoin broing. And then I don't know, start of last year or the year before, we were doing some midlife crisis crap and learning to skateboard again at 33 and fucking me and Jordan were driving somewhere up to a skate park, and I was telling Jordan about my mate's band Fast Johnny and the Slow Burners. I was like, this is the sickest idea. I saw their show the other night. It's so much fun. And Jordan's like, oh, I love this music. And then puts on all these other artists. And I'm like, what are you even looking up to find this? How do you know all these bands? And he's like, yeah, it's just what I listen to. I'm like, do you want to start a band? Do you want to do a band again? And he's like, yeah, okay, maybe. And then what happened was our other mate who manages a whole bunch of other projects, we're like, hey, if we were to start a band, would you manage us and like, you know, help us get gigs and stuff and take the pay from the gigs and stuff? Can we do this? And he goes, yeah, I'll do it, but you have to call it the Sex Guys, like your old project. And I'm like, yep, 100%, we're doing it. I believe so hard in that name, 100%. And so I went to Jordan. I'm like, yeah, Chris said he'll manage us, but we have to call it the Sex Guys. And then we went and tried to find a drummer. And funnily enough, we ended up being like, let's just ask Geordie. He might do it. He just might. And we hit him up and we sent him some of the new tracks. And he was like, holy shit. Yeah, I'm in. Let's go. And it just kept working from there. Bear in mind, I did this time round. The songs were way, way better written because it was easy to perform live. It's very hard to fuck them up.
Good plan.
I've actually been playing in a band for about 4 years at this point. So beforehand, when we started, we didn't know anyone. But this time we kind of had people we could ask and we had people we could get advice from. And we could send people the songs and be like, this is what we sound like. I know it's not like you guys, but do you know some people that you could pass it on to? And like, so it all worked a lot easier this time around. The only difference is we don't have that other guitarist, which I keep messaging. He's coming back. Jamie's coming.
Hey, it's more
I
money.
hope Jamie sees this. I'm waiting for you, Jamie. Don't fuck me on this.
Well,
Not
make sure we tag him.
It's your fault the solos are shit, Jamie.
No, don't change the solos.
But yeah, so that's if you come across that SoundCloud and you hear a song called Ants and Water, yes, that's us. Just from ages ago. When our new stuff releases and everyone goes, oh, you sound like Idols, I'm going to be like, check that out. We sounded like Idols to start with, so fuck you.
Yeah.
We sounded like Idols before Idols sounded like Idols.
Idols were here last year, weren't they? They sort of massive.
To be fair, I only heard about Idols like 3 months ago. Chris, the guy I was talking about before, our manager, loves them. And he keeps saying, you guys sound like Idols. You guys sound like Idols. And never got into it. And then that Tank album dropped. And I kept getting it like promoted at me, and the dancing in it was so good. And I listened to it, and I'm like, "Yep, I'm a fan. I get it. These guys are sick."
Yeah, they're great. Yeah. I know what you mean.
They're coming. I think they're coming this year. They might.
I think last year. Yeah, we're here last year, but they'll probably come again. They'll be on the circuit now.
So if you know anyone from Live Nation, get them to email me or give me their email. I'll email them. I'll chase them. Want that show?
Isn't it your manager's job?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Get Chris on.
Yeah, exactly right. Where are you, Chris? Hit me up.
I'll send him an email. I'll send Chris an email.
Yeah. Let's make it happen. Anything that can make it work. I need to get on that stage.
So it's not just the band that's fast paced here. So obviously,
I assume that's decaf you're drinking, right?
You're drinking
decaf.
The boys voted that I do the interview because I'm the slowest talking.
Oh, I love it.
All right, so let's talk about the 2 songs that people can find on Spotify, which we'll add to our playlist as well.
We are not your friends.
Thank you.
Let me tell you.
We are not your friends.
Let me tell you what I like about it first. I like it because it's 2 minutes 4 seconds. I like that. I love that straight up.
Yeah,
I like it because you found a good riff and you just stuck to that riff all the way through the song until the breakdown where the bass player just plays the same riff. It's fucking awesome. So, yeah, I love it. And we'll talk about the clip later.
take your order, sir?
Did we make it? Did we miss breakfast?
Breakfast runs all day, mate.
Please. Okay, cool. Well, can I get one cheeseburger, please?
Oh,
That's
yes, of
Two
course.
cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rossi? It's crack. It's right up. It's in the right genre, isn't it?
It is. It's right. Look, I listened to it and got, it's dirty and I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That the drums are like,
I can
tonk,
dig that.
tonk, tonk. Yeah. That's like,
Yeah.
like I'm not a very complicated person when it comes to this stuff, you know?
Music
And
doesn't need to be.
No, it's like, yeah, I'm a sucker for a sub 2-minute song, and so were the Beatles.
Straight up.
You know?
Straight up.
Yeah.
True.
Anything, I get bored after more than 3.
Man,
I just
I try to keep our sets to 20 minutes because you can't make people sweat longer than 20 minutes. It's brutal.
people get bored. People lose interest.
Yeah, unless they're there for
Yeah.
you specifically in every song you've ever written. 20
Anyway,
minutes,
Dennis,
run 'em up.
who is not your friends?
Yeah. All right.
Question, huh?
Funnily enough, right? So this song, I'm not going to name any names for one.
Okay.
So this song
Oh, the
was
Rossi
written
defense.
about.
We
This song was written about a situation. So this song, it's not as bad as you're thinking. This song was written about a time where we were trying to get a very, very particular show. And like, this is a band that meant so much to me personally. My childhood, 15-year-old Dennis was like, we need this. And I'm like, I'm getting it for you, 15-year-old Dennis. We're doing this. And we didn't end up getting the show. And some guys we know did, and they played awesome, and it was great. And a couple other guys we didn't know got it, and that's all fine as well. But I was so mad. I was like, we're built for this. This is our show, and they didn't put us on. It's not their fault. They picked the right guys. They did a great show. But it was our fucking show. I wanted it so bad. And I was like kicking up in our band group chat, like kicking up. I was so mad. And they were like, fuck off, write a song about it. It's just another show. I'm like, I will write a song about it for a different band. And I did. And it was that song.
That's great.
I've got a second and unrelated question. 15-year-old Dennis, what bands did he really like?
He liked the band called From First to Last. He liked Jet. He liked, The Vines.
Yeah, that's a band.
Senses Fail. Heaps of like emo stuff. I got into emo stuff as well. But I was like, that's when I was in my like crucial bit of bands where I was like, I lived in a country town called Bundaberg. So like,
I know.
bands didn't come through, right? Yeah, so you know, right?
I know.
And like
Bundaberg.
bands don't come through there. Like I think Thirsty Merc, that's another big one. I love Thirsty Merc. Thirsty Merc came through there one time and I didn't go because I was like 12 or 15 or something. But like coming from there, we like never got to go to shows. We never got to see these people. So the only time I saw like all these people that I deemed heroes was on TV. So it was like magical to be able to see these people in real life. And I can't remember where I was going with this. Bundaberg, hold on.
It was the bands you liked.
Bands I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are all the kind of bands I idolize. So when I got a chance to like be on the Gold Coast and actually play shows, especially play shows with these bands that I listened to that I only ever saw on TV, like it was actually mind-blowing. And I've done it so many times now, but that particular one, that fucking show, I wanted that one. I'll message you when we get it. We'll get it when they tour next time. And it'll be on. And I'll be like, that was it. It was that.
I love it.
Yeah, let's talk about the film clip. I loved the video.
That was so much fun to film.
It would have been.
So, how long have McDonald's been serving breakfast for all day? It's been a long time, Dennis.
I didn't know if we were actually allowed to reference McDonald's in there, so we kind of made it. It was like Sex Burger or something. We'd made up a fucking shop.
Yeah. The other part I liked is the rusty old Impreza.
Yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, that's actually my car. That's just the only one we had available.
Nice.
So Bitcoin worked well for you.
Oh man, since then I've gotten I've done kind of well in Bitcoin, and I got some better license plates. Don't invest in Bitcoin. You'll get fucked. Highly don't recommend.
Love it.
Oh, legendary.
Yeah, my
But
God.
Dennis,
on the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Dennis, we didn't tell you that we stopped halfway through to do a quick trivia quiz.
Oh,
And
let's
Bragg-
go.
And
You ready?
Braggy normally
We don't
does
know-
this.
We don't normally get that response, do we? Everyone goes, "Oh, I'm not very good at trivia." And Dennis goes,
Oh,
"Yeah,
no,
let's
I'm
go.
terrible.
Ready,
I've changed
ready."
I'm terrible. Let's fucking do it though.
Now, boys,
You're
I've
gonna learn
changed the format.
today.
I've changed the format slightly, boys. I've just got
Okay.
straight 10 questions, 1 point each. And this week's quiz is all about Queensland. Okay?
That's a
Oh,
little
see-
unfair.
see-
It's
see
a
we
little
got-
unfair.
So geology is what we're going with.
Yeah.
we got
So-
all three Queenslanders and 3 Maroons and 1 fucking blue down the bottom left there. Rossi. Rossi, and so Curly, I expect you to do good on this
Okay.
because it's
Thank you.
all Queensland. Okay.
All right.
You
So,
ready?
Dennis, if you've got a pen and paper near you, you just write them down, and we just try and fill in the awkward silences on air with all sorts of things. But
So Braggy's gone out of his way to find something that I'm going to crash and burn at. He's done this on
No,
purpose.
you'll know. You'll still be
you probably
Yeah,
know Queensland better than us anyway.
if I was a betting man, which I am, my money would be on you, Rossi. but I don't know what Dennis is like. Dennis.
Oh,
He's.
I did not listen in social studies or geology. We're fucked. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. I got you.
Okay.
Don't
First
bet on
question.
me.
First question
Number
is
one.
number 1. The mother of which band's lead singer ran the Green Papaya restaurant in Stanley Street in East Brisbane?
What kind of question is that? What? Sorry, can you repeat it? The mother of the band.
The lead,
That runs-
which band's lead singer's mother ran the Green Papaya restaurant, which is a Vietnamese restaurant?
Oh,
Come on,
Can't
Curly.
say my
You
answer,
know.
can I? All right.
No,
I've
just
got a guess.
write down.
yep, I better go.
I got you. Cool.
Which early Brisbane punk band's lead singer was born in Kenya?
Sorry, can I just have the question again?
Yes, you may, Dennis. Your special subject is obviously not Queensland bands. Which early Brisbane punk band's lead singer was born in Kenya? I mean, fucking how many early fucking Brisbane punk bands were there?
Yeah. I was thinking.
Okay, question 3.
All right. Hold on.
What former Brisbane music venue was demolished overnight by the Queensland government despite it being heritage listed by the National Trust?
Damn it! I fucking should know this.
Did it have a
What-
sprung dance floor?
Yeah. And what year was that, Braggy?
1984?
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah.
85?
Sprung dance floor. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm even going close to home here. What Gold Coast high school band, this is number 4, what Gold Coast high school band had a hit in 2007 with just a song about ping pong?
Oh, fuck you. I actually know this one. Now I can't think of that name. It's so about ping pong. Oh, and it's got the chick with the. Oh,
Yeah, that's the one. Question 5.
Yeah.
What band's lead singer recorded the album Tea and Sympathy in 2005?
What?
I don't think I know it.
Lead singer recorded the album Tea and Sympathy in 2005. Number 6, which Brisbane duo won 14 ARIA awards between 1996 and 2000?
Duo.
Yeah. Brisbane duo.
Yep.
Won 14 ARIA awards between 1996 and 2000.
I think
Ross
I know
has got
who
it.
that is. All right. Yeah.
Who is the only other Brisbane duo to win an ARIA award? That's question 7.
Brisbane duo
Yeah.
to win an ARIA award.
Cool.
Actually won 2.
What question
Okay.
are we on?
Oh,
That was 7. This is
Number
number 8
eight
now.
next.
You're right, Kelly. Do you need me to recap?
Number 6 was like
The duo that
duo.
won 14 ARIA awards. Number 7 was what's the only other duo from Brisbane to win an ARIA award?
An area.
So if you didn't know one duo from Brisbane, you're going to be fucked trying to get Okay, question 8. Which Brisbane band take their name from a brutal area of West London?
Could you run that past me again?
brutal
Which
area of West London.
Brisbane band take their name from a brutal area of West London? It's a little cryptic, that one.
Brisbane band.
Question
I see
9.
your answers.
Question 9. Which member of Cold Chisel was born in the North Queensland town of Ayr, which is just south of Townsville, in the cane fields? Don't know? Well, you got a 1 in 5 chance if you know everybody in Cold Chisel.
That's smart. I like those odds.
And last one. This is the toughest one, but I'm
ready.
I'm backing Rossi because he's not.
That's the toughest one? This is the toughest.
This is the toughest one now. Which
What was
legend?
about someone's mum from the 80s?
Oh, that's an easy one, that one. Which legendary Brisbane band formed in 1968 was fronted by Carol Lloyd?
Oh, yeah.
Also, I don't know if you know, but Carol Lloyd had her red hair insured by Lloyd's of London for $100,000.
Wow. Didn't know that.
Sick.
I didn't know that till today either. Okay, ready for the answers? Ready for the answers,
Yeah.
boys? Here we go.
Wait.
Yep.
Can I have question 8 one more time?
Yeah. Which Brisbane band take their name from a brutal area of West London?
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Whoever gets the best out of 10 is the champ. Ross is the champ. Okay. Regurgitator, Kwan Yeoman's
That's
mum.
right. I had that. That was me just
Right.
racial profiling. Racial profiling. That was terrible.
I've grossly underestimated the situation and writ Sally, so I'm wrong.
Kwan Yeoman's mum. I don't think she has it anymore, but I actually went there once.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was good?
Yeah, it was great.
Out of 10.
8.
Yeah.
The Saints.
Yep.
What's his
Yep.
name from the Saints?
Chris Bailey.
Chris Bailey was born in Kenya. Yep. Cloudland was the place that the Bjelke-Petersen government tore down overnight.
I wrote sprung because I heard you guys say sprung a heap of times. I thought it was a hint.
That's cool. Operator, please, sang.
Ah! Fucking hell it was! I wrote moo-moos for some fucking reason.
It's just a song.
What's
It's
Operator,
just a song about
please?
ping pong. Whatever happened to them? They had like 2 hits and then they're gone.
Disappeared. Them and Short Stack. And then Short Stack came back.
What's his name from Powderfinger?
Powderfinger.
Bernard Fanning.
Bernard Fanning had the album Tea and Sympathy.
Yeah.
The duo that won 14 ARIA awards was Savage Garden.
Savage Garden.
And the only other one from Brisbane was the Veronicas.
That's so fair. That's so fair.
I'm going to get in
It
trouble
should-
for
yeah.
that. I'm going to get.
I feel bad not knowing that. I've sung their song so much.
Brutal area of
They're
West
great,
London
those
would be Violent Soho.
No.
Really?
Violent
That's
Soho.
sick. I wish I knew that.
Don Walker was born in Ayr. I only found that out today too from Cold Chisel. Don Walker was born in Ayr. And the
Railroad Gin.
Railroad Gin. What a fucking band. My brother used to have that album.
How good is
love that
It's
album.
Only a Matter of Time? How good is that? Yeah.
It's a cracker. How could she? What a singer she was.
Yeah.
All right, scores.
I got
Wait,
Cool.
what was?
Yeah.
Wait. Sorry, what was the last one?
Railroad
Gin.
Gin.
Oh, right.
Look 'em up.
Okay, yeah.
Look them up. Look them up, Dennis. It's not your style, but you'll appreciate it.
I'm from a country town.
Yeah.
So am I.
All right, wait. So who did the best?
Dennis, how many did you get?
I got 2.
2. Curly
I got
4.
4.
Rossi.
6.
Hey, still the champ.
I'm going to be fair. The mum question right off the bat threw me. Insane. Well played.
Hey, normally it's harder than that, the quiz.
That was
Yeah.
easy.
No, it wasn't easy.
Sweating like I'm in high school again.
I
There were
can't
no
make it too
cryptic
easy.
names there. All right, let's talk about Out of My Head then. That's the second song on
Second
Spotify.
single. So that was a we need to get something else online now release. We put half the effort in that I wish we put in, and that's totally on me. But yeah, so We Are Not Your Friends is an intentionally vague song. That's basic. Out of My Head. Out of My Head is an intentionally vague song because it means whatever it means to you. That was kind of the goal here. So I Can't Get You Out of My Head can literally be anything. It's a person, a place, a voice, a want, a need, whatever is like relevant to you right now, it should be able to trigger. And that was kind of the idea. Didn't resonate as well as we thought it would, but still a good song. I'm happy with it.
Is there going to be a clip for that one?
There was. We had this really elaborate video clip organized, and then it was just as like it was supposed to be like filmed just like a week after Christmas, and on the Gold Coast there was like the first ever tornado. We've like never had a tornado, and like the room we had our mate from another band called Buckled had actually given us a shed to build the set in. It was. The idea was we were going to make a whole set that was a brain, and we're inside a brain, and there's blood spurting everywhere, and we're playing in a brain. And that was the whole thing. And it was going to be sick, but it was just the resources weren't there. It was too expensive to build. The tornado like tore up our mate's house and the shed we were going to use. So it all just became too difficult. And then by the time we were like, fuck, we got to get this together, it was like a month or two past releasing. We're like, we've missed the boat. We should have had this ready before the song came out. So we kind of like put that one on the back burner, and we're like, all right, let's set up for the next one. So at best, We Are Not Your Friend, or not We Are Not Friends. Out of My Head is just more catalog for us. We were like, we need to get something else out there. One song's not enough. We actually, when we recorded those two songs, we recorded 11 songs, an entire album ready to go with the intent of dropping every song like every 2 months.
Cool.
It turns out that is so expensive to do, like crazy expensive. And then we were like, we don't want to release the whole thing at once because it's a waste. You'll like drop 12 songs, they'll get listened to for a week, and then it's just on to the next 12. And that was too expensive to do as well. So we ended up, I think we got to about the third song, and we were getting that ready for mixing, and we heard it back. And this was about a year into having recorded these songs. We were just like, this sounds like shit now. Like we play so much better than when we recorded these. Bit of pre on that. When we started doing this band, I think within the first 2 months, we'd gone from nothing to playing a show and recording the whole EP. So we wrote 10 songs or 12 songs, recorded 11 of them, and we're ready to go. So by the time these first two had come out, and there's when you like do a marketing plan and all this shit, like even if you half-ass it, there's a lot of work that goes into that. Like a lot. You don't expect it. And you're just like, oh, I'll just put a song out and we've got 6 weeks and we'll just make one post for every day and then we'll do it something different every time. And you run out of ideas quite quickly. Like there's only so many times you can say, hey, I've got a song coming out soon. Mm-hmm. So I think we did it pretty well with the first release. We got real lazy on it with Out of My Head. And we were like starved for ideas. We're like, we can't just regurgitate the same fucking TikTok videos we made for the first one. And I don't know if you've done that, but that's fucking taxing as it is. Like trying to do TikTok videos and reels and shit. Like you have to do it because that's the landscape.
You need someone to do it.
Yeah. And like, you can't just, if it's too cheesy, people get annoyed. If it's too overproduced, other people get annoyed. So there's this weird middle ground. Like, anyway, we got lost on being too picky. I think the first time we were like, just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And then the second time we were like, don't do this. And we're not doing this. And we're not doing that. And we're going to focus on this. And then we just did nothing kind of thing. So we ended up, re-recording. But basically, we've recorded 3 of the songs that we got from that first bunch. And we've recorded them better with our more like road trained skill set, I guess. We've had a year of playing shows and like nutting out how we can like be better at performing. So now all that reads into the new songs, and we wrote 3 new ones that are all going to release hopefully this year, which is really, really cool.
When I look on your Spotify and shows me where all your people who follow you are, you've got a fuck of a lot of people that follow you from Oslo.
Yeah, so that's like that's
that's Norway. Whose Arnie lives in Norway?
I don't know. So I'm really into tracking those numbers in Spotify artists. That's really fun.
Yeah.
And it's like USA and then like Oslo and then Australia.
It's got all the states. Yeah, it's got like Queensland, so many, New South Wales, so many, Victoria. That's got Oslo, like 73 followers in Oslo.
Yeah,
so that's good.
I don't know. Maybe they like easy, fast-paced rock there. That could be a thing. At one point, like a year ago, our numbers just went like not crazy, but like way better than what we're doing. And we were like, holy shit, people are listening. It's happening. And we like message our manager and we're like, dude, it's odd. Look at this. And he's like, I think you're getting botted, man. And we're like, oh no. And so like, you email Spotify and they don't give a fuck. And so that we had like, was it Norway? I don't know. We had a whole bunch of like really weird like places where it was playing as well. But like, that all passed off and Spotify was like, look, there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. We're like, all right. And now I think a lot of our play comes from the algorithm, just from like it putting it into other people's playlists. I don't think that many people are actually looking us up. It's just Spotify goes, oh, you like that? Maybe you'll like Sex Guys, which I'm cool with. That's great. But it's hard to track. It's hard. Like we're trying to, first and foremost, we want to build an audience in our local town and then greater Australia area. That's like our aim. So it kind of sucks if Spotify's throwing it out that far. Like we're not going to America. We're not going to Oslo. The fuck is that?
Drilling down into that data is not easy either.
No, you only get a very surface area version of that data too on like Spotify for artists. And then like there's Apple. I've never even looked at the stats for Apple Music. I'm sure there's like, it can't be as good, can it? It's like not as good a system.
I don't know. All you can do is write your songs and try and make them the best that you like, and then whatever else happens, that's it. You can just be the
as far as Spotify is concerned, as long as the monthly listeners thing goes up, that's how you get more gigs, right? That's how it works. Yeah. So just aim for that.
Yeah,
that's it. And speaking of gigs, where you guys gigging? What's the go on the coast?
Well, so our drummer's actually in Mexico. He's been in Mexico for like 2 months. I think he's back in like another month.
Right.
And so we were just like,
swing by Canada and pick up your guitar player.
Yeah,
right.
That's a fair way.
Seriously, yeah. They better not be playing shows over there. I'll be so mad.
So your drummer's south of the border. What's he doing down there?
He's just enjoying it. He went to like an Eclipse festival that also had a tornado at it. And then he just went like freelance drumming in New Orleans. They had like a jazz festival. And he's just like, I'm just going to try and get on as many stages as I can. I'm just going to rock up and be like, hey, I'm sick. Give us a go. And like to his credit, he's like the best drummer I've ever heard. Like I've been to a lot of shows, and he is the best drummer. Geordie is the drums. And so there's videos of him in New Orleans just being like, give me a go. And they're like, yeah, okay. And he just cuts it so good. And like never doesn't even know what they're playing. Just like joins in, watches the bass player, and he's like, yeah, I got this. Fuck yeah, let's go. And he's a weapon at every genre. So he's doing all that. So we're not taking shows, but then a couple of like really good ones came up that are like with some very special friends. And we were like, oh, look, let's get the guy who's recording us, who's one of our good friends as well. We call him the dad. He's going to play drums for us for a show. And so he did that. And then we're like, well, we've kind of got a show the next week offered. So do you want to do that too? And he's like, yeah, okay, I'll do that too. And then this weekend, actually, we're doing a fundraiser for a very dear friend. We're getting hearing aids sorted for her. So we're playing a show at Vinny's Dive Bar on then. Okay. And then nothing for a while. And then we're waiting for our drummer to get back. But the places to play on the Gold Coast, Vinny's, Moe's, Elsewhere. Yeah, they're the three. They're the best. Highly recommend. If you guys are doing gigs up here, Vinny's, first and foremost. Moe's, second and foremost. Elsewhere's got the best sound system like I've ever heard, but the stairs almost make it not worth it. It's intense. They have no backline. You have to bring everything.
Rossi just felt that in his back. Didn't you,
Rossi? Yeah. Absolutely not. Played one show there and I was like, this is actually a joke. They don't have cabs out the back. No? Okay. And there's nowhere to park. It's in the middle of surface. You've got to go pay for parking in bumfuck nowhere. But really, really good sound system. Like incredible. You could play it at like really low volume and hear everything. It's masterful. It really is.
That's awesome.
So Dennis, what's next in terms of music coming out? So are you doing an album or is it just going to be?
We're doing singles? An EP. We're doing an EP. We're going to roll it out. I'm kind of talking off the hip here, but we haven't decided exactly how we're rolling it out. There's back and forward between the three of us. But yes, there is definitely an EP coming. I'll tell you what it's called, but you can't tell anyone unless you're watching the show. You guys can't tell anyone. It's called Here Come the Sex Guys. Spelt exactly how you think it's going to be spelt. Yeah. So that's going to be our first.
You know, maybe I'm thinking, like back in my day, it was the Swedish and those Oslo people that made all the porn films. Maybe.
Oh my God, that's probably why they love it.
Maybe something's got lost in translation there with the Sex Guys. Maybe they're clicking the wrong thing.
For the first 8 months, you couldn't Google us. Like if you Googled the Sex Guys, you got everything but the Sex Guys. It was pretty bad. So like it was a milestone for us to like get Google search to find us before you find porn, which was so cool. Because now if you type in the Sex Guys, you'll get unearthed in articles and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was really, really cool. But yeah, that's for ages, you couldn't do it. And the idea of the name behind the Sex Guys was like, we get to freely use every sex joke. Like,
yeah, it's a good setup, isn't it?
There's endless sex jokes. And one thing I found with like TikTok a couple years back is dick jokes work for everything. Kids love it. Adults love it. There's no demographic that doesn't do dick jokes. So if you can like innuendo it without saying it, there's a joke every time. Every fucking time. Bands are getting in trouble for saying big things coming. And so we've just been running with it. You can't. You really can't.
All right.
I love it.
Excellent. Rossi, have you got a backstage
I should also state, sorry.
Huh?
No song in the Sex Guys playlist at all has to do with sex, relationships, anything. Not one.
Okay.
I never will.
It's very cool.
And no hidden dick innuendos.
No. In the names, I want the names of songs to feel like they could be Sex Guys innuendos, but all the lyrical content is about me getting drunk in my 20s and like being really tired, fatigued now. That's like what all the songs
I have one more question to ask. I think you were going to wrap it up, Curly Wee. I have one more question to ask. I want to ask about the little thumbnails for the thing. They look like they're from Grand Theft Auto.
No, they're
Am I
actually
right there?
no. So, well, yes, they look exactly like they're from Grand Theft Auto. That wasn't the intention. The intention was to just do. We sent the art off to get like drawn up, and we were like, we want like a car with like a sexy lady, and it like to be very like 70s porn, and that's kind of like the angle of cartoon we want with it. And then we got the art back, and we're like, yeah, they understood the assignment, but maybe too sexy, and maybe like we might get in trouble for people being like, what is this raunchiness that you guys are doing? So we were like, the lady needs to be covered up more, and she needs to be like 100 years old.
Yeah.
And then we're like, now it's perfect. Now this is, now
Yeah,
we can market this
good.
is
I do
this
like
is what
the
your mum
artwork.
wants to listen to. And it was so much better. Like, I don't know why the art ended up looking. I didn't even like make the GTA connection until a little bit later. It does look very GTA.
And it looks, it's very Gold Coast too.
It's very Gold Coast, and that's kind of what we were going for. We wanted it to be originally we wanted it to be a bit more beachy, but then that just kind of seemed it felt cheesy. So we were a bit more like city-esque Miami feel.
Yeah, that's it.
It came out really good. And it was one of those things like as soon as we released the artwork, people were just like, cool. We like this. I like that you didn't do the sexy chick. I love that you did like the good-looking mom. And we were like, yes. We almost lost it there. It's a fine line that you play before. So sorry to cut you off. I know you're trying to wrap it up. But before we started the band again, we actually like me and Jordan went around to all of the female friends we could find, and we asked them, we're like, hey, if we were to do a band called the Sex Guys, as like, you know, 3 white middle-aged dudes, are we pushing it here? Is this like, are people just gonna go fuck you guys? And one of the best answers I ever got back, they were like, the name's not offensive, it's just not very good. And I was like, all right, cool. You leave not very good to me. I just need not offensive.
Yeah.
Okay, Rossi.
So you walk a line with it.
Rossi, do you have a backstage story for us?
Well, yeah, I was thinking about it, and we're talking Gold Coast, and
Yes.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
talking-
Tell us a Gold Coast story.
I've got a few Gold Coast stories, but I won't tell you those ones. I've got a mate of mine who's doing very, very unwell at the moment. Clifford Hode from Kings of the Sun had a massive heart attack last week,
All right.
and he's still in a really bad way. So we're all sending thoughts for Cliff. Cliff, his band really nearly broke it, man. They came so close. And
That was
just the
good.
short story about Cliff was on the second album when I did the tour with them, the album Full Frontal Attack. In the song "Drop the Gun," Cliff plays this drum roll that you would not believe, and then in the middle of this drum roll, there's a cowbell, and anytime you hear it, you just go, "Where the hell did that come from?" And anyway, ends up Kings of the Sun are in Australia, and they're supporting Aerosmith, right? And Steven Tyler bounces up to Cliff and says, I used to be a drummer. And apparently Steven Tyler would be backstage before he goes on stage, and he would drum to warm up.
Mhm.
And so he had been playing along to this Kings of the Sun album for weeks, trying to figure out how Cliff did it.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
And
Did he show him
Cliffy-
how to do it in the end?
Nah, Cliff would never do that. Figure it out yourself, mate. But Cliff,
Call yourself drummer?
yeah, Cliff was the most phenomenal drummer, and he's like Gold Coast born and bred. And he and his brother Jeff were the craziest mothers I ever met in a rock band. I've never seen more girls attracted to a band than those guys, ever. ever. And I just hope he gets well and pulls out of this, and it's not looking good at the moment, so we're very worried about him, that's all.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kings of the Sun, Serpentine, Black Leather, great songs. Just
Oh man, what a band.
all right, Dennis, where can people find the Sex Guys?
If you're local Gold Coast people, just hit us up. We're around. But you can jump on our Instagram, The Sex Guys, or it's spelt exactly how you think it is. We have Spotify, all the other ones, TikTok and Twitter and all that. Whatever your poison is, we're on it doing poisonous stuff. It's in there. You can cut that if you want. That is weird.
And we've added the Sex Guys 2 songs on Spotify to the Unfiltered Undiscovered playlist. So you can check them out there. They are fast. They are frenetic.
Everything about them's fast.
I want you guys to listen to it and think of the worst thing the worst thing about the song and find a way to comment it to me.
Got the band together fast.
Give me the hate.
Manager's fast. Everything's fast.
We're about it.
All right.
Challenge accepted.
Thank you so much for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun.
It's been so much fun. So for everyone out there, if you've enjoyed the episode, please like and subscribe. Make sure you check out the Sex Guys. We're on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. We got a website on unfilteredundiscovered.com. Of course, we've got our playlist. We're now at 350 songs there, Braggy. So going very, very well. Lyrics from the playlist, and this is in respect of someone we lost recently, Ignatius Jones from Jimmy and the Boys. That great song they put out, Products of Your Mind. We are the players in a game where no one ever wins. Until next week, we'll see you all again. Thank you.
Rossi,
Dennis, how are you,
welcome on
mate?
in. Lovely to see you. I'm good. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. You're a Gold Coast bloke, yeah?
Yes. Yes. I'll never leave. I love it here. Never, ever. I went to Melbourne once for like a
and it was
gaming
closed?
convention. Oh my God. It was just before that, actually, just before the big close down. And my God, it was cold and busy. And are we allowed to swear? What's the go with swearing?
Yeah.
Fuck
Okay.
yeah.
It's fine.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fucked.
swearing's
It was real
good.
fucked. Yeah.
Fuck. Look, so you had to go through. You had to fly over Sydney. Why didn't you just stop there?
Why did we go to? Oh, it was for a gaming convention.
Yeah, sure.
My other band ended up going to Sydney recently. That's actually pretty cool.
Who are
There's
they?
some- it's Entrapment. Actually, it's this band. It's like a
Okay.
like a hardcore band, I guess would be the best
Yeah.
description. Yeah, there's heaps. Like we played this bar called Mosh Pit, and it's tiny.
I
And
know
like
it
this is
very,
the kind of
very well.
yeah, right, yeah. And this is
Yeah.
the kind of music where everyone punches each other. So like it's
Yeah.
it was like
It's chaos.
it was a pretty small room for it.
Yeah, I know I know exactly what you're talking about.
And that stage only fits. Man, there was a band there. I think they were called. Oh, it wasn't Hell on Earth. It was another band. But every single dude in that band was like over 6 foot and just the most staunch dude you'd ever seen. Just absolutely jacked. And there's 4 of them on that mosh pit stage. And I was like, how do you all fit on there? That's mental.
Yeah. I did a web TV series out of there. I actually did 2 web TV series out of there in during lockdown, and it's a groovy little place. A mate of mine, John Roberts, actually supplied pretty much 90% of the posters that are up on the walls.
Oh, no way. Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Small world.
And as you're walking on the left hand side, I reckon I've worked on about 30% of those shows.
Wow.
Sick. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a sound tech roadie?
Yeah, I've done a lot of that. Massive amounts of that. I play in a couple of bands as
cool.
well, but yeah, I toured since the 80s as a sound guy. So
Yes. Oh, okay. Do you know a guy called Chippy?